Hello, we're continuing with Exodus 28. The priestly garments. Have Aaron your brother brought to you from among the Israelites, along with his sons Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar, so they may serve me as priests. Make sacred garments so they have special clothes for your brother Aaron to give him dignity and honor. Dignity and honor. Tell all the skilled workers to whom I have given wisdom in such matters that they are to make garments, clothes for Aaron, for his consecration, so he may serve me as priest. Remember, consecration is set apart for God's purposes, God the Creator. These are the garments they are to make: a breast piece, like a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a woven tunic, a turban, and a sash. They're to make these sacred garments for your brother Aaron and his sons, so they may serve me as priests. Have them use gold and blue, purple and scarlet yarn, and fine linen. The ephod. Make the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen, the work of skilled hands. So, pardon me. The ephod is a very strange. You know what I think it looks like? What I was told when I was meditating. Football players have shoulder pads. The ephod is like a shoulder pad, but it's kind of like a shirt too at the same time. It has two shoulder pieces attached to two of its corners, so it can be fastened. Its skillfully woven waistband is to be like it, of one piece with the ephod. So it's kind of like an apron too. If you ever put on an apron, you put it over your head, and then somehow you have to tie it around your waist and then tie it in front of your waist. But you tie it around your waist. So it's also made of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and with finely twisted linen. Take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel. Remember, Israel is another name for Jacob. There's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's the grandfather, the father, and Jacob. But Jacob had 12 sons. So take 2 black. Onyx is like a black gem. And engrave, like carve into them, 6 names on one stone and 6 on the other. Engrave the names of the sons on the 2 stones the way a gem cutter engraves a seal. Then mount the stones in gold, filigree settings, and fasten them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the sons of Israel. Aaron is to bear the names on his shoulders as a memorial before the Lord. Make gold filigree settings and 2 braided chains of pure gold chains, like a rope, and attach the chains to the settings. The breastpiece or breastplate. Fashion a breastpiece for making decisions. The work of skilled hands. Make it like the ephod, of gold and of blue, purple, scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen. It is to be square, A span long. A span long. That is A. Let's look at the footnote. 9 inches or 23 centimeters. So it's not very large. And on this square, it is folded double. Then mount 4 rows of precious stones. So 4, remember this is a column, this is a row. Forgive me if you know that already. So it's 3, 3, 3, 3. The first row shall be carnelian crelosite beryl. Second row shall be turquoise, lapis lazuli, and emerald. The third row, jacinth, agate, amethysts. The fourth row shall be topaz, onyx, and jasper. Mount them in gold filigree settings. There are to be 12 stones, one for each of the names of the sons of Israel, each engraved like a seal with the name of one of the 12 tribes. For the breast piece, make braided chains of pure gold, like a rope. Make 2 gold rings for it, and fasten them to 2 corners of the breast piece. So I think it hung on his neck with let's take a look. I've looked at this before. Let's read. Fasten the 2 gold chains to the rings at the corners of the breast piece, and the other ends of the chains to the 2 settings. Fasten the 2 gold chains to the breast piece, and the 2 other ends of the chains to the 2 settings. Attach them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod. So the breast piece and the ephod were attached by gold chains. Make 2 gold rings and attach them to the other 2 corners of the breast piece on the inside edge next to the ephod. Make 2 more gold rings and attach them to the bottom of the shoulder pieces on the front of the ephod. Close to the seam just above the waistband of the ephod. So, there's 6 chains perhaps. The rings of the breast piece are to be tied to the rings of the ephod with blue cord. So they're also connected with blue cord, connecting it to the waistband so that the breast piece will not swing out from the ephod. Whenever Aaron enters the holy place, he will bear the names of the sons of Israel over his heart. On the breast piece of decision, as a continuing memorial before the Lord. Before the Lord, lefanecha. Also put the Urim and the Thummim in the breast piece, so they may be over Aaron's heart whenever he enters the presence of the Lord. Thus, Aaron will always bear the means of making decisions for the Israelites over his heart before the Lord. Other priestly garments. Make the robe of the ephod entirely of blue cloth. So he has a blue robe with an opening for the head in its center. There shall be a woven edge like a collar around its opening, so that it will not tear. Make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn around the hem of the robe, with gold bells between them. The gold bells and the pomegranates are to alternate around the hem of the robe. Aaron must wear it when he ministers. The sound of the bells will be heard when he enters the holy place before the Lord, and when he comes out of the holy place, so that he will not die. Make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it as on a seal, holy to the Lord. Fasten a blue cord to it to attach it to the turban. It is to be on the front of the turban. So he has like a beanie, what I would call a mohat. And from his beanie, there's blue cords to attach something gold that says holy to the Lord. Maybe something like this. It will be on Aaron's forehead, and he will bear the guilt involved in the sacred gifts the Israelites consecrate, whatever their gifts may be. It will be on Aaron's forehead continually, so that they will be acceptable to the Lord. Weave the tunic of fine linen, and make the turban of fine linen. The sash is to be the work of an embroiderer. Make tunics, sashes, and caps for Aaron's sons, to give them dignity and honor. So a tunic, I think a tunic's a shirt. After you put these clothes on your brother Aaron and his sons, anoint and ordain them. Consecrate them so they may serve me as priests. Make linen underwear, as a covering for the body, reaching from the waist to the thigh. So it's long underwear, but only to the thigh. Aaron and his sons must wear them whenever they enter the tent of meeting or approach the altar to minister in the holy place. So where the altar is, that's called the holy place, so that they will not incur guilt and die. Die is like die of improper. God commanded that you have to wear those. It's not impropriety. It's just when God told you to have some underwear on when you're sacrificing things for the people, you have to have underwear on. But it's easy to wear underwear. I don't think Aaron and his sons forgot. This is to be a lasting ordinance for Aaron and his descendants. Let's go to Exodus 29. So remember, Moses and Aaron, they're brothers. Moses is younger, but he is a great prophet. God called to him from a burning little tree, the burning bush. So Moses talks to God. He's a prophet. And his older brother is going to be the high priest, the dude that offers sacrifices to God, and his sons too. So they're going to have special clothes, and now they're going to be consecrated, consecration of the priests. It's 29, Exodus 29. This is what to do to consecrate them. I need to go faster because I could be losing you out there. So they may serve me as priests. Take a young bull, 2 rams without defect, and then from the finest wheat flour, make round loaves without yeast. So bread without yeast. round bread. Thick loaves without yeast. That could be because people back then ate like pitas, so maybe like what we consider bread, like a loaf of bread, or like the French, not the really long one, but thick loaves, and then with olive oil mixed in to make thick loaves with olive oil, and then thin loaves. Maybe that's like the French baguette, without yeast again, and then you brush them with olive oil. Put them in a basket and present them along with the bull and the 2 rams. So they're alive. Then they're still alive. Then bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance to the tent of meeting and wash them with water. So that's like, you know what I learned? Back then, they had 2 ways to wash. You could just kind of wash it, right? Like you pour water on it and wash it, like you wash your hands. Or you could dunk whatever it is into a tub of water. Take the garments and dress Aaron with the tunic. So put on his shirt, the robe, the ephod, and the breastpiece. Fasten the ephod on him by its skillfully woven waistband. Then put the beanie, the turban on his head, and put that sacred emblem holy to the Lord. Attach it to the turban. Take the anointing oil, there's oil, and pour it on his head. Anoint him. Then bring his sons and dress them in tunics, the shirts, and fasten caps on them. So you just put the caps on them. Kind of like that, because they're sons. Aaron will wear it like that. Then tie sashes on Aaron and his sons. The priesthood is theirs by a lasting ordinance. Sashes are like these long scarves, but I don't think they tied it around the neck. They either tied it across the chest or along the waist, around the waist. Then you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. Bring the bull to the front of the tent, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands on its head. Then you slaughter it, and then take some of the bull's blood and put it on the horns of the altar, that bronze altar, with your finger. Then pour the rest of the blood out at the base of the altar. So we're talking about the bull. Take all the fat that's on the internal organs and the long lobe of the liver. Take the fat. And kidneys have fat on them. So take the fat off the kidneys of the bull and then burn them on the altar. But burn the bull's flesh, meat and its hide, skin and its intestines outside of the camp. It is what's called a sin offering. Take one of the rams, and Aaron and his sons shall once again put their hands on its head, then kill it, and then take the blood, splash it against the sides of the altar, then cut the ram into pieces, and then wash the internal organs and the legs, putting them with the head and the other pieces. Okay? Then burn the entire ram on the altar. It is what's called a burnt offering to the Lord, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord. Take the other ram, and it's the same thing. They put their hand on it, slaughter it, but this time take some of its blood, and put it on the lobes of the right ears. right ears. The right ears of Aaron and his sons, on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes, big toe, the big one, of their right feet, on their right foot. Then splash the rest of the blood against the sides of the altar, and take some blood from the altar. So they killed 3 animals. So they're taking some of the blood, and then take some of the oil. They still have some oil left. And then sprinkle it on Aaron and on his garments, his clothes, and on his sons and their clothes. And then he and his sons and their clothes will be consecrated. Take from this ram the fat tail, the fat on the internal organs, the long lobe of the liver, both kidneys with the fat on them, and the right thigh. This is the ram for the ordination. From the basket of bread, take 1 round loaf, 1 thick loaf, 1 thin loaf. Put all of these in the hands of Aaron and his sons, and have them wave them before the Lord as a wave offering. Then take them from their hands and burn them on the altar, along with the burnt offering for a pleasing aroma to the Lord, a food offering presented to the Lord. After you take the breast of the ram for Aaron's ordination, wave it before the Lord as a wave offering, and it will be your share. Consecrate those parts of the ordination ram that belong to Aaron and his sons, the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. This is always to be the perpetual share from the Israelites for Aaron and his sons. Let's look for a thigh. Okay, I saw we just okay. Here we go. Legs. Remember the bull? They just burnt it outside the camp. So the first ram, they get the thigh, and then the second ram, they get the breast, they call it. Okay, so let's just move forward. Aaron's sacred garments, his clothes will belong to his descendants, so that they can be anointed and ordained in them. The son who succeeds him as priest and comes to the tent of meeting to minister in the holy place, that is where the altar is to wear them 7 days. Take the ram for the ordination and cook the meat in a sacred place at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons are to eat these offerings by which... No, see, my eyes are getting goofed. Aaron and his sons are to eat the meat of the ram and the bread that is in the basket. They are to eat these offerings by which atonement was made for their ordination and consecration. But no one else may eat them, because they are sacred. And if any of the meat of the ordination ram or any bread is left over till morning, burn it up. It must not be eaten, because it is sacred. Do for Aaron and his sons everything I have commanded. Ooh, this video is getting long. We are at 25 minutes, taking 7 days to ordain them. Sacrifice a bull each day as a sin offering to make atonement. 7 days. And anoint it to consecrate it. For 7 days make atonement for the altar and consecrate it. Then the altar will be most holy, and whatever touches it will be holy. This is what you are to offer on the altar regularly each day. So there was every day they had to offer a sacrifice. 2 lambs, a year old, offer one in the morning and the other at twilight. With the first lamb, offer a tenth of an ephah. Remember, an omer is a tenth. It could be a tenth of a. So offer a omer, which is 6 pounds, of the finest flour, mixed with a quarter of a hin of oil from pressed olives, and a quarter of a hin of wine as a drink offering. Sacrifice the other lamb at twilight with the same grain offering and its drink offering as in the morning, a pleasing aroma, a food offering presented to the Lord for the generations to come. This burnt offering is to be made regularly at the entrance to the tent of meeting before the Lord. There I will meet you and speak to you. There also I will meet with the Israelites, and the place will be consecrated by my glory. So I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar, and will consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests. Then I will dwell among the Israelites and be their God. They will know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of Egypt, so that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. Thank you for listening. Keep God first. He'll take your places.